Dustin Poirier's new training footage is intense, and it just shows us how hard he's been working for his upcoming bout against Michael Chandler. However, Dustin must not take Michael lightly, since he's going to be a fierce opponent in the ring. And finally, Michael has reacted to this new training footage of Dustin.
I feel like momentum has been building, even with ups and downs, even with a couple setbacks in my UFC run thus far. Everything has led to this. Once again, the biggest stage I could possibly ask for, UFC, Madison Square Garden, and Dustin Poirier, arguably, I think the most decorated lightweight we have.
The last time we saw Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler within close proximity of each other at a UFC event, things were so heated that they had to be separated by security as they cussed up a storm at each other.
Knock him off, get my hand raised, continue to stake my claim as the best lightweight in the world in progress.
On Monday, the UFC Russia Instagram account shared a video of Poirier and Chandler crossing paths for the first time at UFC 257 in January 2021, which was cool to look back on. Poirier had a little fun by faking a takedown, and then they shook hands and hugged it out. Take a look.
Молодца, хорошая работа. Ты тоже, ты вынес жесткого парня. Спасибо, взаимно.
Whatever beef existed between Poirier and Chandler before UFC 281 appears to have been squashed, which is nice to see considering they once got along just fine. Saturday night's lightweight showdown at Madison Square Garden is so good and guaranteed to be fireworks that they don't need any manufactured heat to make us want to tune in.
I believed in for years that I'm the best lightweight in the world. I've had some ups and downs and some losses, but everybody does, and I believe knocking off Dustin Poirier puts me in line for the title.
When Michael Chandler set foot in New York City's Times Square on Monday, he looked up and saw a video of himself matched up opposite Dustin Poirier. The video promotion of his UFC 281 fight at Madison Square Garden this weekend was a humbling reminder of just how far he's come. Check it out.
Chandler now supports his wife and adopted sons with a new UFC contract, one which befits a top 5 lightweight.
This guy's got it all.
Whose performances delivered time and time again.
It was a small guy from a small town with such small visions of what I was going to do in my life, Chandler told UFC.com, but staying in his hometown of High Ridge, Missouri wasn't in the cards for Chandler. His athleticism, discipline, and heart carried him to be a walk-on for the University of Missouri wrestling team.
Strong physically, and he has so much belief in his strength and his ability to fight.
I want to be the guy who, when you think of me, you think, that guy's a good representation of the sport.
After 4 successful years on the wrestling mat, he turned to mixed martial arts and fashioned himself into one of the top lightweight fighters in the world. I've been dedicating my life to building this mind and body since I was 14 years old. Chandler said 22 years of being brilliant with the basics and being extremely determined and tough in competition.
The UFC is going to continue to build the whole sport of mixed martial arts. So they're making good on their promise and I'm making good on mine.
In 2020, Chandler was approached with the opportunity to finally make his UFC debut. It was the opportunity that the competitor in him had been waiting for. It was his chance to continue pushing himself to new heights and showcase who he was on the biggest stage that MMA has to offer.
In Abu Dhabi, Dustin Poirier said, if the UFC wants me to fight Michael Chandler, I would just go sell hot sauce.
Truly, I think about my career and there are a lot of moments when I never thought that I would be here in the UFC, Chandler said. I'm so thankful that I made that decision, that I took a chance on this whole thing. Here we are 2 years later, and I truly feel like I'm living a dream. And when I'm grateful and my heart is full, that's right where I want to be.
On fight night, I want to get in, get out, kiss my wife, collect my paycheck, and then go celebrate with some friends and fam.
At UFC 281, he'll face a former interim UFC lightweight champion and fan favorite in Poirier. It's a fight that Chandler has had his eyes on for years, and he couldn't be happier that it's taking place in the world's most famous arena, MSG.
You know, he should fight Charles Oliveira or something. Let Chandler and Charles Oliveira go at it. That doesn't really interest me at this point. I'm going to sell hot sauce if that's the case.
Putting on a show at MSG is nothing new for Chandler though, as he fought Justin Gaethje at MSG last November. That fight won the 2021 award for Fight of the Year, and even though Chandler didn't get the win, his performance spoke volumes.
Everybody's looking forward to this fight. Everybody knows who Dustin Poirier is. They know who I am when it comes to what we bring to our performances, the intensity that we bring, non-stop looking for a finish at all times, and that's must-see TV. It's on the edge of your seat action, and I plan on being the victor.
I think I've proven how tough I am in the past outside of the UFC. but doing it inside of the UFC on that platform and just showing people the heart and determination I have from bell to bell when that cage door closes, I'm a different guy. I think Justin Gaethje saw that. I think obviously the whole MMA world saw that, and I think Dustin Poirier will see that on Saturday night, Chandler said.
You can expect the pressure, you can expect the speed, you can expect the power. I think it's just a little bit different when you actually get in there and have to negotiate and navigate the exchanges with a guy who has an indomitable will and is I believe, faster and more powerful than him.
You want to limit those kinds of wars in your career because those definitely don't bode well for your future, but it sure does kind of stake your claim and plant a flag for the rest of the guys that you fight that they know you're a certain kind of guy and you're a different kind of animal. Chandler bounced back from defeat to Gaethje with a stunning front kick knockout win over Tony Ferguson. 4 celebratory backflips followed by an octagon interview for the ages placed Chandler right back into the thick of the lightweight title picture.
Chilled a little bit. How would you describe your relationship at the moment?
I think it's fine. I think you're looking at 2 guys at the top of their game who live with the conviction that they want to be the best guy on the planet at 155. We're 2 guys climbing the same mountain trying to get to the top.
With the belt switching hands from Charles Oliveira to Islam Makhachev at UFC 280, this weekend's bout between him and Poirier has high stakes. I have another huge opportunity against a very game, tough veteran in Dustin Poirier. The title implications are real, Chandler said. I do think if I go out there and beat Dustin Poirier, my name is in the hat to go out there, fight Islam and win the title. Chandler can't help but get excited at the prospect of fighting Makhachev for the lightweight title. He loved the stylistic matchup between his wrestling and Makhachev's grappling.
But I never discredited what you've done. I just said I want to see the guy earn his stripes in the UFC. And you've done that now, so that's why you're fighting me November 12th.
But does Mike not have a little bit of a reason to be upset when he hears that, Dustin?
He can feel however he wants to feel. This is fighting. I don't care.
I think I'm the best wrestler in the division, Chandler said. I think he needs to get through a lightweight before we talk about him fighting a featherweight, Alexander Volkanovski, even though they're both at the top of the pound-for-pound list, but that's not up to me. With the UFC's plans for the lightweight title out of his control, all of Chandler's attention is lasered in on the diamond. Chandler sees Poirier as another one of those fighters who lives a champion's lifestyle, who does the little things right, is a technician, and most of all, is always looking to be the best version of themselves.
Have we, exchanged some words now? Absolutely. But the truth remains the same. We got to go out there and fight.
You're getting to see 2 guys at the pinnacle of their careers at the mecca of combat sports, and the emotions and the feelings are going to be high, Chandler said. The pace is going to be breakneck, and you've got 2 guys that want to get a finish. 2 guys that don't want to fight 15 minutes. I want to go out there and finish Dustin Poirier, and he wants to finish me inside 15 minutes. May the best man win. One of us is going to get our hand raised, and I also think that you'll see mutual respect after the fight. Entering a fight with the expectation that he'll have to lay it all on the line is nothing new for Chandler.
I think the fact that our relationship started off so cordial, there was only one way for it to go, and that was down, He said some things, I said some things, and we both said, maybe I don't like the guy as much as I thought I did. By the way, looks like we might be matched up in the next X amount of months or X amount of fights. So it's kind of just turned into a competition, and that's what you want here. You want 2 guys at the top of their game, 2 guys that see only victory, and 2 guys that see a guy standing in their way. Dustin Poirier's in my way of what I want.
It's exactly what he's done his whole athletic career. It's how he went from a small town kid to a walk-on at a D1 school to competing for world titles in the UFC. It's what has made Chandler great, and it's why he believes that this fight with Poirier is his time to shine. I prepare with my team, training partners, and coaches, and I honestly just think right now is my time. I really believe that the ups and downs, the wins and the losses, since I came into the UFC, have prepared me and fashioned me for this moment. Right now with Islam being the champion, I think things are working out just perfectly. That's my true belief.